Things fall apart when the center could no longer hold. It's one of the prominent words from China Achebe on his book, Things Fall Apart, a book that was acted upon by Nollywood, our very own brother Pete Edeche. He was the main actor, okay, of that very story, which brought to life as a little child watching that movie. I can never forget Ikene for now. What happened was the choices Okonkwo, who happens to be Peter Edochie, made. A young boy he took to his home, and the young boy called him father. They grew to love one another. Ikemefuma became a part of his home. And when it was time, the oracle says the boy must die. The chief priest warned him, do not lay a hand on that boy because he calls you father. But in wanting to prove himself to whoever he wants to prove himself, he was the one who struck down the tree. And at the end of the day, he spent his days in terror because the guilt of what he has done and demons could not leave him as a result of the bond and relationship he has come to make. This is the very case of the People Democratic Party, as we can see our very own man, Atiku Abubakar, who emerged as a presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party, gradually makes things fall apart by poking the wrong hive. That's when bees come around and stings a man. The People Democratic Party, now in disarray, are stretched to remove the national chairman, Ayin Tickins. 11 governor boycott the Osun campaign inauguration. Normally, they work together as a pack. Unity, they say, is strength. When a family, when brothers stay together, their weakness is not easily found. Ahead of the Osun State governorship election scheduled for July the 16th and the 2023 elections coming up in 8 months' time, the People Democratic Party BDP is engulfed in fresh rounds of crisis over the choice of the Delta State Governor Okowa as the running mate of the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar. The party's presidential candidate, Atiku, made this choice. You see why things are falling apart? Let's continue. Governor Okowa was announced by Atiku as his running mate on June the 16th. The announcement came 24 hours after the advisory committee, tasked with the responsibility of coming up with Atiku's running mate, voted in favor of the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike. Consequently, many of the party's stakeholders, especially governors sympathetic with Wike's plight, were shunning the party's affair since then. It is also on record that the People Democratic Party announced the names of the Ekiti State Governorship Campaign Council, but failed to inaugurate and didn't campaign in the state. Thus, they lost and came in a distant third. On Wednesday, 11th out of the 13th governors elected on the platform of the People Democratic Party shunned the inauguration of the Osun State 128-member National Campaign Council. The People Democratic Party had on Monday announced all the governors as members of the campaign council. However, at the inauguration Wednesday, only Governor of Delta State, Okowa, and Taraba State Governor, Doris Isiaq, attended the ceremony in Abuja. More shocking was the absence of the only PDP governor in the Southwest, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. The chairman of the campaign council, Bayelsa State Governor Dere, stayed away without any explanation. Other governors' absence include Governor Nyesom Wike, Aminu Waziri Tebbowa of Sokoto State, Dr. Ikpeazu of Abia, Emmanuel Odo of Akwa Ibom, Ifeyinwa of Enugu, Samuel Otom of Benue, Godwin Obaseki of Edo, Aminu Waziri Fetirin of Adamawa, and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed. Gathering from the governor's attitude towards the party, this is not unconnected with a misgiving about how the Atiku peak of Okowa has caused a lot of discomfort, and many confirming, including the governor of Benue State, of being in hibernation and seeking for further direction for him to support Atiku, who happens to be the party's presidential candidate. You see why we had to give the narrative of how things fall apart. When a man begins to play, okay, or never pay attention to what is important, and you trivialize things you should actually pay attention to, some of these are the resultant effect. Yes, our very own brother, went ahead and picked the governor of Delta State. Now, is the governor of Delta State bad? No. I mean, we all saw how Wike was treated. I cannot say it enough. No, I just can't say it enough. I mean, and in 2019, Buhari was about competing for a second tenure. Yes, and the very man, Atiku, PDP has a rotational plates, and it's agreed upon until it's been broken now. And so, Tabowa, the governor of Sokoto State, was one of those seeking to become the presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party. Guess what? Wike did not just support him with his body. He supported him with his mind and his soul. So much so that Atiku was irritated and felt that Wike did not like him because of personal reasons. Yes, agreed upon, yes, moving forward. Guess what? The very man this guy stood for against Atiku. Do you know what happened? 2023, 4 years down the line, the same occasion again is repeating itself. And instead of this man to give back his coin, to pay back the coin, do you know what he did? He turned to Atiku, left Wike that supported him. You see, and that's why Atiku won the presidential election. Just at the commencement of election, he turned a blind eye and turned from the very man who at that time desperately needed his attention. And so a lot of persons felt, okay, let's assume that personal, intentions and, whatever people want, they've decided. That's fine. Guess what? It was time to pick the vice presidential candidate. And so they had 17 people. Yes, they had 17 people. And instead of these 17 people for, matters to be looked at very clearly, guess what? The 17 people, 14 picked Newsom Wike. And if we say this is democracy, guess what? Democracy is for the government, for the people, by the people, with the people. Yes? Guess what? He turned the blind eyes and picked the person who had 3 votes. And looking at the whole thing, Wike has not said a word. If you know Wike very well, he won't stop speaking. Wike will say it as it is. But recently, Wike has been seen with APC, NNPP, LP, and APC. I mean, everybody, anybody, everybody. This is a man who has never left the party. When others left, he stayed put. Leave us a comment. Bye for now.